Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasumi Badachandra.
Good evening, I'm Stefan Dialwis. Let's take a look at the main headlines for tonight.
The President reiterates before the world leaders that the lives of the people were safeguarded, disregarding losses in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister says that a better future should be created on behalf of the children. The United National Party decides to act against all who breached party discipline. A revelation pertaining to inappropriate conducting of intelligence coordination meetings during the 2015 to 2019 period. 12 police officials connected to narcotic charges have been placed under detention. The World Health Organization warns that the coronavirus is able to travel more easier through air than suspected before.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that prominence should be given to the protection of human life, disregarding the damage caused due to losing of foreign employment opportunities in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Sri Lanka has a massive labour force outside of the country. More than 15,000 expatriate workers were brought back to the motherland despite suspension of international air travel in the past few months. This has resulted pressure on the economy of the country as well as on the workforce. The President has reiterated that above all, protection of the people is more important. The President made these remarks addressing through the Global Summit of the International Labour Organization through the Internet today. The theme of the summit has been COVID-19 and the working world and the building of a better future. The summit was inaugurated on the 1st of July at the ILO headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. It will be conducted till the 9th of this month. Today was the day of the heads of state of the summit. This is the largest online summit being conducted with the participation of workers, employers and heads of state.
Sri Lanka has a considerable workforce that is employed outside the country. Even during the period where restrictions for air travel were imposed, we have repatriated nearly 15,000 Sri Lankans from destinations abroad so far. Although this made a considerable change to our overall employment profile, our aim was to secure the lives of our workforce. This fraction of the labour force will now have the choice to join the local labour force without returning to their original countries of employment. This in turn will shape the new normal of our world of work. Skills sector of Sri Lanka required a rethinking and re-engineering in order to accommodate the new normal of the post-COVID period. Reskilling and upskilling of employees will be addressed in our action plan to empower those who lost employment during this crisis. Sri Lanka has pledged to eliminate hazardous child labour by 2022. Abiding by this commitment, our Department of Labour continued to conduct investigations on complaints received regarding hazardous child labour even during the lockdown period of COVID-19 outbreak. Providing an umbrella cover to activities related to the labour force is the tripartite task force chaired by our Minister of Labour. This task force acts as a point of convergence where employment security, wage reconsideration and all related issues are discussed between representatives of employers, employees and the labour officials. Excellencies, I believe that the COVID-19 situation globally has not reached an equilibrium where countries can start having long-term plans. However, it has given ample opportunities for creating a new normal in the short term and considering it in the medium term. Sri Lanka views this as a stepping stone towards reshaping her world of work to suit the new normal in the post-COVID-19 period. I sincerely hope and wish that this opportunity will serve as a means for all countries to realign their worlds of work accordingly and emerge safer and stronger
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has been recognized for having eliminated rubella and measles. It has been recognized as the first country in the Southeast Asia region, along with Maldives, to achieve this target ahead of the 2023 target. World Health Organization issued a Twitter note congratulating both the countries. Dr. Razia Pants, WHO representative in Sri Lanka, also made a congratulatory statement.
Today, 8th July 2020, Sri Lanka and Maldives were certified by WHO for having eliminated both measles and rubella. This makes Sri Lanka one of the first two countries in the WHO Southeast Asia region to achieve this milestone. This was achieved 2 years ahead of the regional target of 2023. We congratulate the Government of Sri Lanka, the Ministry of Health, healthcare workers, vaccinators, our partners, other stakeholders, and most importantly, parents who bring in their children for vaccination. This achievement once again testifies the strength of the public health system in Sri Lanka. In the context of COVID-19, this achievement highlights the importance of maintaining essential health services like routine immunization.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the country and the nation should be built targeting the creation of a more prosperous future for children. He was addressing a public rally in Kuliapitiya yesterday. The Prime Minister has also reiterated that the time has come to cast a valuable vote in the interest of the future generation. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that this is a moment for the voters to discharge their obligations on behalf of the country. He added that a 30-year-old war has come to an end. The country has the responsibility to build a future for the children. He added that it is a crime to sell national resources such as new harbours and airports. It is difficult to reverse adverse conditions in agreements reached with the outside world. The Prime Minister further said that the previous government in their 5-year-old regime were engaged in such harmful practices. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has also attended a public meeting in Iriagolla in Pannala. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that it is difficult to govern a country with a president on one side and the Prime Minister in the opposite side. When the President and the Prime Minister were in opposing sides, no development had taken place. The previous rulers wanted to take revenge from the current administrators. The Prime Minister further said that the present government had defeated harmful foreign influences.
විදේශ බලපෑම අපිට ආවා. ඒ නිසා ඔවුන්ට වෙනත් ආණ්ඩු ඕන වුණා. ආණ්ඩු පත් කරගත්තා. ඔවුන්ට ඕන. මොකද ඒවයින් ජනතාවට සෙතක් උනේ නැහැ. මේ කාරණා පිළිබඳව ඔබ හිතන්න ඕන කාලය ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
He has also addressed a meeting in Nikapotha.
ත්‍රස්තවාදී අවසන් කරාම
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said when the country was rising after defeating terrorism, the previous government had taken measures to rekindle terrorism. The people had voted Gotabaya Rajapaksa into power. He added that the president needs a good parliament for the development of the country. On this occasion, contributions were made to the Itukama Health and Social Security Fund.
The United National Party has decided to take action against members who have breached party discipline. Former parliamentarian Dayagamage said that the relevant decisions have been taken at a working committee meeting today. The meeting was held at the UNP office in Pitakote this afternoon under the leadership of party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. Former parliamentarian Dayagamage said that a decision has been taken at the working committee to take disciplinary action against all those who have acted against the UNP. He further said that they have also discussed on how to form a UNP government on the 6th of August. Former parliamentarian Vajra Abewardhana has also expressed his opinion at a media briefing at the Sirikota today.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Basil Rajapaksa, reiterates the need to create a strong government to confront the upcoming challenges facing the country. He points out that the people should take a decision at the forthcoming general election, taking into consideration the manner the government has controlled the coronavirus epidemic. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Basil Rajapaksa, said that when they were campaigning for the presidential election, they did not anticipate the threat of COVID-19 pandemic. He added that all have a great responsibility to move the country beyond this threat. Basil Rajapaksa further said that the president is protecting the country from the drugs and underworld menace. He also said that both the president and the prime minister are able to safeguard the country and the people from the corona epidemic through implementation of the law to the letter. He has called upon the cooperation of the people to build a strong parliament and vibrant economy while protecting the country from drugs and crimes. He added that the biggest problem is the absence of a creditable opposition. He said that they have no competition, but there is a fight for preferential votes. Basil Rajapaksa has also stressed on the importance of drafting a new constitution suited to the country. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Basil Rajapaksa, said that the country has a great need to have a new constitution that is suited to the requirements of the people. He has requested to give a clear mandate to draft a constitution without becoming hostages of any other group. It has also been pointed out that Sri Lanka's export program is being speedily implemented upon containing of the corona pandemic. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Basil Rajapaksa, further said that by June of this year, Sri Lanka's exports has reached $950 million. This is a victory. In April, the export revenue was at $250 million. He has called the upturn is not just a U-turn, but a victory turning point.
Something that changes your life story. Litro Gas.
Leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, says that there are only two major political parties that are able to rule the country. He was expressing his views at a party election propaganda meeting in Maharagama today. Candidates contesting the general election under the UNP and other party activists have attended the meeting conducted at a hall in Thalapatpitiya, Maharagama. Leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, has said that there are only two parties that could govern the country. There is no need to talk about the rest of the parties. He also said that they must find a way to bring money into the hands of people. The UNP leader further said that the voters should cast their votes to the UNP if they want to build the home economy and to earn more money. Former UNP parliamentarian Saman Ratnapriya questions as to how Sajid Premadasa, who has failed to win his district and electorate at the presidential election, could win the upcoming election. He made these remarks at a media briefing in Colombo today. The Samagi Jana Balavege has also convened a media briefing. Former parliamentarian Ajit Mana Perma said that UNP is not Sirikota or a mere name board. The UNP is now in the Samagi Jana Balavege under the leadership of Sajid Premadasa. Former UNP parliamentarian Saman Ratnapriya has inquired on the fate of Sajid Premadasa in Hambantota at the last election. He was defeated by a majority of 1.5 million votes. Had the people in the north and east not voted for him, he would have been defeated by 7 lakhs of votes. He also said that Sajid Premadasa had lost his electorate as well as the district.
The movie The Newspaper has received a special award at the IndieFest Awards presentation ceremony in California, United States. The award was presented to the President and the Prime Minister at the President's office this afternoon. Many countries have presented their creations to the film festival. They included Italy, the US, India, Australia, Lebanon, Syria, Switzerland and England. The newspaper movie has been subjected to the special appreciation of the IndieFest Film Committee for its concepts on liberation, social equality and opposing attitudes. The film, The Newspaper, was co-directed by Sarat Kotalavala and Kumara Thirimadura. It was produced by Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Ravindra Guruge and H.D. Premasiri.
Welcome back. Continuing with more local stories. The 218th commemoration ceremony of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya was conducted at the BMICH in Colombo this evening. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has presided over the event. The main objective of the ceremony was to commemorate founders of the Amarapura chapter. The Mahanikaya was originated with the bringing of the Upasampada Vinaya Karma from Amarapura in Burma in year 1802 by Most Venerable Valitara Mahakarave Sri Jnana Vimalatissa Nayakathara. The Amarapura chapter is made out of 22 sectors. By now, there are 3,351 local viharas and 48 foreign viharas affiliated to the Nikaya. 12,178 bhikkhus are attached to these viharas. A biography of incumbent Mahanayakathera of the chapter, Most Venerable Kottagoda Dhamma Vasathera, was unveiled today. The book was presented to the Mahasangha, including the Mahanayakathera, by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Presentation of a directory containing information on all viharas of the Nikayas in the island has also taken place. The Amarapura Mahanikaya has also made a financial contribution to the COVID-19 fund. A felicitation souvenir was also presented to the President in recognition of the services being conducted to develop the country. Ambassadors and members of the Vihara Dayaka Sabha were included in the large gathering present on this occasion.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has participated in the National Archaeology Summit at the Foundation Institute, Colombo today. The event in connection with the Archaeology Day, which was yesterday, was organized by the Department of Archaeology. On this occasion, the participants were enlightened on recent revelations of active researchers in the field of archaeology, as well as on timely issues. The theme of the summit was "Let us not isolate heritage." The Prime Minister, symbolizing commencement of the proposed tree planting program in connection with the National Archaeology Day, has planted a sapling at the premises of the Foundation Institute in Colombo. A group including Director General of Archaeology, Dr. Senarath Dissanayake, has also attended the event.
The number of COVID-19 patients who have fully cured has exceeded 93%. The group included 1,955 patients. It has also been reported that 12 more COVID-19 patients have been identified in the country today. 4 corona patients were detected yesterday. They included 2 persons who came from Saudi Arabia and Ethiopia, a Navy person and a patient at the Valikada prison. Necessary samples for the conducting of PCR tests from other inmates at the Valikada prison were obtained following the detection of the COVID-19 patient. Accordingly, samples were taken from 310 inmates yesterday. Measures have also been taken yesterday to transfer 186 persons who have maintained contacts with the relevant corona patient to another quarantine center in Punani. Meanwhile, 12 more patients who were receiving treatment for corona disease were completely cured and left the hospital in less than 24 hours. That ended at 10 a.m. today. Meanwhile, 1,967 COVID-19 patients have fully recovered from the disease and discharged from hospitals. The percentage amounted to 93.97. A total 115 COVID-19 patients are under medical care at present, which is at 5.49%. In the meantime, 892 Sri Lankan Navy personnel have fully recovered from the disease thus far, which is 98.56%. A total of 13 COVID-19 Navy personnel are still in medical care, which is at 1.43%. A group of Sri Lankans who were stranded in India and state of Qatar due to their inability to arrive in the island as a result of the COVID-19 expansion were brought back to Sri Lanka this morning. Measures have been taken to conduct PCR tests of incoming travellers at the Katunayake airport premises itself and to send them to quarantine centres. Now for more global updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization is studying emerging evidence that the novel coronavirus may be spread through the air more easily than previously believed. Meanwhile, the NIH's Dr. Anthony Fauci said it would follow the example from a similar deadly disease.
The World Health Organization is now saying that coronavirus may be spread through the air more easily than previously believed, lingering longer and moving for further distances between people in an aerosol form, after hundreds of scientists pled with the agency to consider the evidence in an open letter over the weekend. If it's true, it could change how governments have been fighting the virus, including the 1 and 2 meter separation rule many countries adopted for social distancing. This was the WHO's technical lead for controlling the pandemic, Benedetta Elagranzi, in a news conference on Tuesday.
We acknowledge that there is emerging evidence in this field, as in all other fields, regarding the COVID-19 virus and pandemic. And therefore, we believe that we have to be open to this evidence and understand its implications regarding the modes of transmission and also regarding the precautions that need to be taken.
The WHO was quick to say that the evidence is not final and they're expected to put out their most recent findings in coming days. Dr. Anthony Fauci of the White House's pandemic response had this to say.
There isn't a lot of definitive evidence about what the impact of the aerosolization is on COVID expression. However, we have some good examples back with SARS, which is a similar virus, where there were clear-cut examples of spread by aerosol. So although we don't think it's a major issue of spread, it's something that we can't completely rule out.
Fauci says this is one of the reasons why people need to wear masks, to protect themselves and others.
Australians wanting to enter New South Wales state from Victoria in the early hours today were forced to show permits allowing travel or be turned around as officials scrambled to contain a coronavirus outbreak.
No permit, no entry. At the drop of midnight Tuesday, Australia closed the border between its two most populous states. It's a step to try and contain a new spike in coronavirus cases in the city of Melbourne, the capital of Victoria. Early Wednesday, hundreds of police and army troops were out patrolling the border with New South Wales, where Sydney is located. If cars didn't have a permit allowing them to travel, they were turned back. It's the first time the border has been closed in 100 years. Previously, it was closed during the Spanish flu. Those in breach of the limits face fines worth more than $7,000 and up to 6 months in prison. Victoria reported nearly 200 new cases on Tuesday, the biggest one-day spike since April. The spike has alarmed officials, even though Australia's infection and death toll is far lower than other countries.
A group of opposition supporters stormed the Serbian parliament building in Belgrade on Tuesday night in a protest against a lockdown planned for the capital this weekend to halt the spread of the coronavirus.
Chaos kicked off at Serbia's parliament on Tuesday when a group of opposition supporters stormed the building in Belgrade. They were protesting a lockdown planned for the capital this weekend that's being implemented to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić said on Tuesday evening that stricter measures were necessary due to a spike in infections. Following his statement, several thousand people gathered in Belgrade's central square. A small group of demonstrators pushed past a police cordon, broke through a door and entered the parliament building. The crowd demanded Vučić's resignation, shouting Serbia has risen. Police responded with tear gas and forced the crowds back. Opponents have pinned the increase on the government and say people should not have to pay the price and tolerate another lockdown. Serbia, a country of 7 million people, marked an increase of at least 13 deaths on Tuesday. Doctors have warned that hospitals are already running at full capacity and that medical workers are tired. Serbia initially introduced a lockdown in early March, but in late May the Balkan country opened up and set elections for June 21st. During the campaign, Vučić's ruling Serbian Progressive Party organised rallies at which people did not wear masks. Top party officials were also infected after celebrating their victory, leading opposition parties to criticise Vučić for using the lockdowns to strengthen what they call his autocratic rule.
A head of an army intelligence division has revealed before the Presidential Commission inquiring into Easter Sunday attack that coordinating meetings of the intelligence division were not conducted appropriately during the 2015-2019 period due to the frequent changing of secretaries of the Ministry of Defence. He added that as a result, national defence had been subjected to a grave threat. Former head of the National Intelligence Division, retired Major General Kapila Hendavitana, giving evidence before the Commission today, further said that the President is mainly responsible for national security, but the Defence Secretary also has a responsibility. Kapila Hendavitana, who was assigned as a Foreign Intelligence Division Coordinator from 2015 to 2019, also told the Commission that the local intelligence service, which was maintained with higher significance during the war period and the post-war period, subjected to somewhat negligence with the coming into power of the new government in 2015. He further said that the previous government has failed to appoint a head to the National Intelligence Division, which coordinates all intelligence units in the country, even 7 months after assuming power. He further said exchange of intelligence information had been the most powerful force of the intelligence sector of the country during the war period. However, this has weakened to the level of each intelligence unit acting as a separate unit. The witness also said that this situation has resulted in the failure to prevent the Easter Sunday terror attack. 12 officials of the Police Anti-Narcotic Bureau who were suspected to be engaged in drug racketeering by maintaining contacts with racketeers have been placed under detention till the 21st of this month. An order in this connection was delivered by Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratna when the suspects were produced before the courts today. Investigations have revealed that the officials in custody were maintaining contacts with drug barons in the international sea. It has also been revealed that the suspects were involved in the racket by selling the contraband in their luxurious homes and vehicles. This was disclosed by Deputy State Solicitor General Dileepa Pires, giving evidence on behalf of the Department of Criminal Investigations. He also told the courts that further investigations regarding the suspects will be conducted. The Deputy State Solicitor General has also pointed out that the international drug racketeers are also engaged in illegal firearms trade. He added that therefore there is a possibility of local criminals receiving illicit firearms through these drug dealers. It has also been revealed that 32 forged 5,000 rupee notes were found in the possession of the 10th and 11th suspected police constables. Therefore, a suspicion has arisen regarding these officials engaging in a faked monetary notes racket as well. Dileepa Pires further said that 390 milligrams of cocaine, 12 milligrams of heroin, 4 grams of cannabis and live ammunition used in T-56 weapons were found in a personal locker of the Inspector of Police in custody. He has also pointed out that information has revealed regarding the 7 suspected officials earning more than 17 million rupees from drug racketeering and using the money to purchase 2 plots of land closer to the Kottawa highway. Therefore, the Deputy Solicitor General has requested the courts to place the suspects in detention as there is a need to conduct an extensive investigation regarding these incidents. Superintendent of Police of the Criminal Investigation Department, Meryl Ranjan Lamaheva, said that according to information provided by the officer in charge of the Police Anti-Narcotic Bureau, seals have been placed on the storage room where case items were kept. The SP further said that 700 kilograms of heroin was stored in the room.
Balance of the Itukama COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund has increased to 1,450 million rupees. The fund is enriched with donations on institutional and personal levels as well as through direct deposits. Several other groups have made contributions to the fund. Members including Chairman of the Wennapur Pradesh Sabha has donated 166,000 rupees and Mrs. H. Priyanti R. Pires 5,000 rupees. Managing Director of the A Group Construction and Consults Company, Engineer P. Thyaparan, has also donated 200,000 rupees. A contribution of 200,000 rupees was also made by President of the Vegetables, Fruits and Grain Wholesale Traders Association, Sunil Senviratna. H.K. Sirisena and Mrs. P.B. Sumanavati have contributed 50,000 rupees and 6,500 rupees respectively. A contribution of 64,000 rupees by W. Manoj Lalit Fernando and 5,000 rupees by M.A. Peter Wilfred to the fund has also been reported. The relevant checks were presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa while he was engaged in tours in the Anuradhapura and Putlam districts. Ms. D.M. Udula Vishwani also presented 5,000 rupees. A contribution amounting to 263,628 rupees and 56 cents was made by the Sri Lanka Securities and Exchange Commission. The Vettasinga Medicinal Items Distributing Company has donated 50,000 rupees. The Development Officers Welfare Society of the Udunura Divisional Secretariat Division Office has contributed 189,625 rupees and 34 cents. Director General of the Secretariat of Non-Government Organizations Raja Gunaratna has donated 88,000 rupees to the fund. All checks and telegraph transfers could be sent to the website www.itukama.lk. Contributions could also be made to the fund through the telephone number #207#.
That's it for the news this evening. Have a good night.
Good night.